Hello Charles Angels, welcome to another tutorial. Today we're going to be coding up a game, and this game is the 4 pictures 1 word. It's something simple and not really simple, but it's something that we could code together. So it goes like this. This one is a cat, so I'm just going to say C-A-T, cat, correct. So I move. This is boy, so B-O-Y, correct. And then we can restart the game. So this is something simple. The point changes whenever we get it correct. If we don't get it correct, it tells us that we're wrong, and we can remove this and try again till it's correct. So yeah, this is what we're going to be building today, and I'm hoping that you enjoy it. So let's hop on the code. So I have this empty folder that I have created, and I've brought it into VS Code. So I'm just going to open a new terminal and change the command, and I'm just going to write npm create byte, then dot means same folder, and then I'm just going to say yt pics, and I'm choosing vanilla, I'm choosing JavaScript, and yeah, so I'm just going to run npm install then npm run dev. Okay, so I'm just gonna come here, local. Yeah, so this is coming from our main.js. So we're going to be removing all of these, and yeah, so let's go to our index.html. So we're just going to do a bit of HTML, then a bit of CSS, and we'll be on our way. So we're going to start with the letters, moving up the letters, and from there would bring in other elements of the game. I'll just move this. Let me just remove this, and I'm just going to say section ID is equal to game scene, and I'm going to bring in another div. I'm just going to bring in a div. So I'm just going to call this so I'm just going to call this picked letters area. Right. So inside here, I'm just going to have 4 p tags, and they would have a class called picked letter. So this is the place above yeah, if you don't know how I did that, that is Alt Shift down. If it doesn't work immediately, try pressing Shift and Control, leave it, then try Alt Shift down again. Right, okay. So now we're going to have a div, and this div is going to have an ID. There's letters area. Okay, and I'm going to have a p tag. we'll just put letter U inside, and it will have a class of random letter, and it will have so we're going to use a data attribute. So that's data, then I'm going to say initial position. Not till. Okay, so the first one will be 0. So I'm just going to duplicate that. Well, this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 11. Alright. So let's do a bit of styling. So in our style the CSS, I'm just gonna remove all this. Although that's true, in our main.js, I know we removed all that before. So, but let's leave this style.css. Okay. So here, the first thing I want to do is bring in game scene. So we're just going to have background color. It's going to be white. Then the width will be 30 rem. Height will be 100%. Margin will be auto. Then padding top will be 2 pixels. So let's also style the body. So this will be padding will be 1 rem. 0, and then we see margin would be 0. Background color would be 242424. It's gonna be dark color. Then the height would be 95 SVH. Okay. Okay. Next, we want to style the peak letter. Peaked letters area. So that's gonna be height. It's gonna be 5 rem. And the display will be flex. Width would be 25 rem. Margin would be 0 pixel. Auto. Then justify content would be center. And then we have a gap between each of them. And then we're going to just say 20 pixels. Okay, then let's style the letters area. But let's see what that looks like so far. Yeah. So this is what it looks like. Yeah. So yeah, looks good. So for the letters area, we're gonna have a width of 25 rem. I'm using rem because if it doesn't fit the screen, if I change the root pixel size, everything becomes smaller. Then auto, then display grid. Then I want grid template columns to be repeat 6 1 FR. Justify items center. Okay, then the letters, just copy this. Then the child, which is the p tag, and then picked letter. So essentially what I want to style now are these and these. But we could, let's just, okay, maybe let me comment this out and let's check out what we have. Okay, yeah, so you can see, I know there'll be a picture at the top, but for now let's just work with this. Okay, and we're going to see a border, and that's going to be 1 pixel solid black. Height is 35 pixels, width is 35 pixels too, and display flex. Justify content center, then align items would also be center, and then our cursor is going to be pointer. Okay, so yeah, this is it. So I'm starting with this because I feel like this is where the main logic would be, because when we click on this we want it to go here, whatnot. So that looks good so far. I think it's time to add logic to it. What we want to do now is whenever we click on this box or any of the letters, we want that letter to come right here. So that's what we're trying to achieve right now. So in our main.js, we're going to bring in random letters. So we're just going to bring, all this in. So that's going to be const random letters is equal to document dot query selector or random letter. Okay. We're also going to bring in an array. So just call this data is equal to, so it's going to be an array of objects. So we're going to say answer. The first one can be cat, and then the next answer can be love. Okay. Now we're going to create a function, and okay, well, let's not create a function right yet. So let's use the random letters. So random letters dot for each. So we're going to put, this would be element, so lm. So we're going to say lm dot add event listener. We're going to say click, what should? Click, and then we're going to write peak. The function is going to be called peak letter. We haven't created this, so let's do that right now. So function peak letter is going to have an event, And then we're going to say const letter is e dot target dot text content. So what we want is, let's go back. When we click on this, we want the text. So this U. So that's why we gave the variable letter. And then const would be found index. Maybe let's just call it found index. So I'm going to say e dot target dot get attribute. So the attribute we want to get is the initial position. Yeah. So this is going to, sorry, what did I just do? Okay. This is going to come back as a string. So we want it to be an integer. So I'm just going to say pass int. Okay. So now whenever we click, we want to clear where we just clicked, so it will be clean. So I'm just going to put this, remove the letter we clicked from the board. So that's going to be random letters, then the index dot text content, then we want nothing to be there. Okay, so let's see how that works now. So if I do this, you can see it's gone. Okay, nice. Let's now create the function that would show what we picked in the picked area. That is the area at the top. So that's going to be function, that's going to be fill picked letters. And we're going to say letter, and then the tracking index. Right. Okay. So we're going to say const picked letters. So equal to document dot query selector all, and then this is going to be picked letter. So that is this one. So I'm picking all of them. Right. So now what I want to do is that I'm going to loop through it. Whenever I find an empty box, the first empty box I find is what I want to fill. So that's going to be fill the first empty box. So for that, I'm just going to say for let I equal to 0, I less than picked letters dot length I plus plus. So if picked letters, that is if the current picked letter we are on and the text content dot trim, if it's empty, that is equal to an empty string, then it means that this is what we want to fill. So so what we're going to do is we're now going to say picked letters I dot set attribute, and the attribute we want to set is data position. So we're going to take this initial position and put it here. And then we want it to be the tracking index. So let's just put a comment there. Just say, the reason why we're doing this is we don't want a situation where if we let's say for example these two letters are the same. If we click on this and it comes here, and we click on this and it comes here, when we click on this, when we click back on this, we want it to come back to this exact same position. We want it to come back to this exact same position. If we don't do that, it would go to another place, and we'll try it out to see what we're talking about. So that's so we just put a comment there. Data position is to track the position of the letter picked. So it goes back to the right position. Okay, so when I see picked letters then we now fill it. So sorry, the text content is equal to the letter. Okay, then we'll just break it. So okay, so what we do now is we just bring that here, field picked letter, then we say the letter that we want to use, then the found index. Fantastic. So go back, you can see it goes. Now because we're tracking the index, when we click on this, okay, we haven't done that yet. So the whole idea is that when we get there, when we click on this, it will come back here. When we click on this, it will come back here. When we click on this, it will come back here. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to make sure that this, of course, it's not always going to be 4-letter words. There are going to be 3-letter words, 5-letter words. So what we want to do right now is we want the boxes to match the answer that we have. Okay. Okay, to do that, we're going to create a function, and we're going to call this function draw answer boxes. So right here, I'm just going to call this so let's just say matching the top, the answer boxes to the length of the letters of the answer. Okay, so I'm just going to call this function. So we can call draw answer boxes. Okay, so I'm going to say const split word, and then we're going to call a function that's going to be split answer. We haven't created this, but we're going to create this right now. So split answer. All right, so function split answer. We can say const current word is equal to data, that is this data up here, right? Now I'm going to say we're going to, okay, let's just say current data index, Bazinga. We're going to say current data index. We haven't created it, but we will soon. So current data index. So let me just create that at the top. Where should I put it? Okay, let's put it here. So that's const current data index is equal to, let's start with 0, and then dot answer to uppercase. So I can see const split word is equal to current word dot split, and then we're going to return the split word. Okay, so since we've called this here, this is going to be, an array. Okay, before we move on, let's bring in the picked letter display. So this is this area, this picked letter areas. Let's bring it in here. So we're just going to call it, we're just going to say picked letter displays at the top. That's const picked letters display is equal to document dot get element by ID. We're going to say picked letters area. I hope I spelled that correctly. Yeah. Okay. So what we'll do here is we want to clear any picked letter any word that was there before. If there was a word that was there before, let's remove it. So we're just going to say clear previous word or letters. So that's picked letters display dot inner HTML is equal to an empty string, so we're clearing it. So we're not going to say, we're going to loop through the split word. Remember, it's now an array. Then we'll just say for each so I'm going to say const so we're just going to say const para element. So we're just going to, this is paragraph element. I know, very innovative. Is equal to document dot create element. So we want to create the p tag, which is why I called it para element, so paragraph element. So then I could say para element dot class list dot add. We want to add picked letter because that's what's here. Okay, then we'll just say para element dot set attributes. I'm just going to say data position. Let it be empty in the beginning, and then it will be picked. Okay, so pick letter display dot append child, then para element. So we're going to be filling it one at a time. So now let's call this and see what happens. Okay, this shouldn't be one. Okay, why is this one? Okay, let me okay, so here there should be that. So let's see. Okay, now we have three boxes as against the 4 boxes that we had before. So that works. Now what we want to do is whenever we click on this box or this box, if there's something inside, we want it to come back here. So now if we click on this, do this, right now if we click on it, nothing happens. So we want a situation where we click on it, we want it to come back down. All right. To do this, we are going to create a new function, and the function is going to be called remove letters from answer. So it's going to have an event, and then we're going to say if e.target dot text content dot trim. So what we're trying to do is, if it's that place we clicked on, there is nothing inside, we shouldn't do anything. Okay, so we're going to trim is equal to empty, we just return. Okay, then we'll now say const the former index, because now we are trying to return it to its former place. So what does it return? Letter to the former place. Okay, so we're going to say former index is equal to, we're going to say e.target.get attribute, and the attribute we want to get this time is data position. All right, then it's going to be a string, so we want to pass it. So that's going to be pass int. I'm going to say random letters, then former index dot text content is equal to letter content. So letter content, we haven't declared this yet, but we will now. So here we'll just say const letter content is equal to e.target.text content dot trim. Okay, so we're just getting the text content inside. Okay, then we would reset the element. That's e.target.text content is an empty string, and then e.target.set attribute. So we'll just say data position. We're going to leave it back to being empty. Okay, so now we're going to put this here. So that's going to be par element dot add event listener, and the event listener we want to add is the remove letters from answer. So if we go back, what just happened? Oh, okay. I know what happened. Sorry. So this is supposed to be unclicked. My bad. So click, save, And yeah. Okay, so if we click on this, let's make it really random. So now if I click on this, it goes here. Click on this, it goes here. If I click on this, it goes here. Yay. So that really works. At the moment, we just have the letter U, like U, all through. So now that we're starting with the word cat, we want like CAT to be scattered around this area, which is what we want to do now. Okay. So now we're going to create a function, and we're going to call this function fill random letters. So at the top, we're going to bring in here we're just going to say const main letters display equal to. So what we want to do is we want to target this letters area, right? And say document dot get element by ID and call it letters area. Okay. So back here, we're going to say main letters display dot style dot display, and we want it to be a grid. Then we want to empty every random letter that is inside here. So, you know, we want that place to be empty before we even start. So I'm going to create a function for that. I'm going to say function empty random letters. And what we're going to do here is random letters dot for each, and then here we're just going to put lm. That's going to be lm dot text content is equal to an empty string. So we want it to be an empty string. Then we call that function right here. So that's going to be empty random letters. So now we're going to say const split word is equal to, we're going to call split answer. So we've called that before. It's going to return an array to us. So we're going to use a while loop. The reason is because, let's go back here. The reason is because we want to, let's say for example CAT, like cat for example, we want to randomly put like C here, then maybe A here, then T here. Excuse me. So we want to put like C here, then A here, then T here, random places. We want a situation where if C is already here and we want to put A, and then A wants to come here, we would just, you know, skip and move to another one, which is why we're using a while loop. Okay, so yeah. So our while loop is going to say while split word dot length is greater than 0 as long as there's something inside. So the idea is that we're going to be, you know, we're going to be popping some things out of here. We're going to be removing some things from here. So until it's empty. So we're going to say const letter is equal to split word 0. So the first letter. So we're going to say placing each letter in a random box. So I can say const random number is equal to math.floor. That's going to be math.random multiplied by 12. The reason why we're picking 12 is because, you know, of this. 12. Okay. So ensure we don't fill a previously filled box. So what I wanted to say is if random letters, then random number dot text content dot trim is equal to an empty string. What we want to do is random letters, random number, and random number dot set attribute. The attribute we want to set is this. Let's go back. And then we say the random number. Then we say random letters, then random number dot text content is equal to letter. And then we say split word dot shift. That is, we want to remove the first item inside here. So let's see how that looks like. I'm just gonna put this here and save. So see, we have CAT, the rest is empty. Let's refresh. See, CAT, and the rest is empty. So yay, that works for now. This means that we need to feel like this doesn't have to be empty, shouldn't be empty. It means that we need to, like, you know, fill them up. Okay, so to do that, we're going to create a function, and so the function is going to be function, and we're going to say fill remaining random letters board. I know it's supposed to be on the board, but let's just keep it short. Okay, so just say filling the remaining boxes with random letters. So we're going to loop. So we're going to say for let I equal to 0 while I is less than 12, I plus plus. So we'll just say random number for the 26 letters of the alphabet. This is going to be const random alphabet number is equal to math dot floor. Then we're going to say math dot random multiplied by 26. So we're going to ensure that we don't fill a previously filled box. So you get, that's what we want to do now. So I'm just going to say this ensures we don't fill previously filled boxes. Oh god. So we're going to say if random, oh come on, if random letters dot I, not dot I, if random letters into bracket I dot text content dot trim if it's not empty, so that is if it is not equal to an empty string, just continue with the loop, move to the next one. Okay, then yeah, when I say else, random letters into square bracket I dot set attribute, we already know which attribute we're setting, so it's going to be this one. Just copy, paste, and then I, right? Then we're going to say random letters into square bracket I dot text content is equal to, so now what we want to do here is we're going to create an array, and the array is just, we're going to fill this array with with alphabet. So what we'll just do is, where should we put this? Okay, so just here, we'll just say const alphabet is equal to array dot from. So we want this, so this is going to create an empty array, and we can give it parameters on how we want it to be. So the parameter we're going to put here is the length. We want this array to be 26. We want it to be 26. We want it to be 26 items. Okay. Now there's also a callback function here, and so what we want is we are going to just do this, then then we're going to say string dot from char code. So these are going to, this, what I'm doing right now is going to create the alphabet for us. And then this would be I. Yeah, so this is going to create the alphabet for us. So here we're now going to say alphabet into square bracket, then our random alphabet number, then to uppercase. So with that done, we are just going to call this here after everything is done here. Okay, so let's see if that works. Yay, it works. So you can see a C A T is there, then others are random. So if we refresh, you can see a C A T. You can see there's another A, but it doesn't matter. And yeah, so yep, we have been able to fill the other boxes with random letters. I think it's time for us to check if we have like the correct answer if we're typing the correct answer. So that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to create a new function, and we're just going to say function. I'm going to call this function check correct answer. Okay. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get all the picked letters. So what I'm referring to is this. We're going to get this, and so this is going to be picked letters. So that's document dot query selector all picked letter. So we're going to have two variables. So the first one is going to be is all filled, and if it is correct. So we're going to be checking if all the boxes at the answer side is filled and if what is there is correct. So it's going to be let is all filled equal to true, and then let is correct equal to true too. Okay, so we're going to check if any of the boxes are empty at the so let's just say check if if any of the boxes are empty. Okay, so that's going to be picked letters, not letter, dot for each. So we're looping through it. We're looping through each element. So that's lm. So if any of them is empty, then it means that is all filled is false. So if lm dot text content dot trim is empty equal to empty, then is all filled is false. So if is all filled is false, then we just simply return. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to bring in split word again. So that's equal to split answer. So remember, it's returning an array. So what we want to do is now we're saying that since we already know that the entire answer boxes are filled already, we now want to check if it's the correct answer. So compare the answer to the letters in the boxes. So we're just going to loop through, this and check if it matches the answer. So that's going to be split word the for each. So this is going to be letter index so if the letter we are currently on does not match, so that's it, does not match picked letters, then the index dot text content dot trim, then it means that is correct is equal to false. So if we're matching, so I'm going to compare C to C, A to A. So if it is A and the next box is, let's say B for example, it means it is false. Okay, it means it's not correct, right? So yeah, okay, before we go on, I want us to do like we need to go to HTML a bit. This would, okay, let's just try it out. So we'll just say console.log let's see is correct. Okay, so we would find out. So where do we want to place this is correct? This is going to be each time we pick a letter. So I'm just going to copy this. Then where is pick? Where is pick? Okay, yeah, each time we pick a letter. So I'm just going to put this here and see. So inspect. So if we do T C A, can see it's false. So if we remove that, if we do C A T, it's true. Yay! Okay, that looks good. So now we are going to go into HTML and we are going to write some HTML so that it can show us the correct what's it called, so that when we're correct it shows on the screen instead of our console. Okay, so directly above this, directly above pick letters area, we're just going to put a H2 and we're just going to put a text inside. Let's just say correct. Okay, the ID is going to be winning display. No. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Okay, correct. But of course, no, that is not enough. We need to style it. So so here, no, not here, here, I'm just going to say winning display. Can be height is 2.5 rem, color, just make it green by default. Then font size is 1.2 rem. And text align center. The width is 15 rem. The margin is auto. Display is flex. Then align items center. Justify content center. So this is what it looks like, but you know, obviously when we're starting the game it shouldn't show, so we would have to hide it. So so I know we have display flex here. We're just going to put display none here so it doesn't show. So in the beginning it's empty like this. Okay, now we would go back to our JavaScript, and in our JavaScript we have to bring in that display. So we'll bring it at the top. So say const winning display is equal to document dot get element by ID. We're going to say winning display. Okay, so here, well, that's where were we? Okay, yeah, we're here. So So here I'm just going to say if it is correct, then we're going to say winning display dot style dot display is equal to flex. Then winning display dot style dot color is equal to green. Then winning display dot text content is equal to correct. Okay. Else, see, I'm just going to copy everything. What? Sorry, this should be in quotes. Okay, so instead of green, this should be red, and this should be wrong. Although another way of doing it is we could just put this into a function and it will be cleaner, but yeah, for the sake of simplicity, let's just, make it like this. So we say set. So we're going to put a timeout here because we want it to stop showing. I said set timeout, not set interval. So I'm going to say winning display dot style dot display. Then we'll say equal to none. And we want that to happen after 1 second. The reason we're doing this is we want it, if you got it wrong, we want you to keep on trying. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's just see if this works. So we're gonna say TIP. Okay, did I miss something? Okay, let's check that out. So TAT, wrong, so it works. So you would not believe what was wrong. So it's this. Okay, let's try that out. So CON, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so if I remove this, so let's do CAT, correct. Yay! Wow, just great. So yeah, that works. That absolutely works. And yeah, so it's time for us to, have a score. And at the top, I'm just going to have here, I'm just going to say let score point equal to, let's say 50, right? So at the then no, apart from that, we also have total points. Yeah, so total points in the beginning is going to be 0. All right, then in our index.html we need a place that will be showing us our scores. All right, okay, we're just going to say h2 and we'll start with 0. Then I'm going to give this an ID that's going to be points box, and here Okay, instead of that, let's have a span. Then we're going to say points. Yeah. Then we would have this here, 0 here, and we'll say ID is equal to points. No. Points display. All right, fantastic. Then back in our main.js, we're going to bring in the points display so that we could just show it here. But although I actually think we should first style it, let's first style it so that it looks, it just looks right. Okay, so the first thing is we want to style this. So the first thing is we want to style this points box. So let me just copy that. Where should we put this? Okay, let's put this here. Points box. I'm just going to say font size is 1.2 rem, and then we just say margin left, we'll just say 3.5 rem. Yeah, I think that should cover for that. Let's see how it looks like. All right, so in our main.js, we're going to say const points display is equal to document dot get element by ID, and it's going to be points display. Yeah. Okay. Then we will just go down and we'll just create a new function. So function is just going to be score a point. That's going to be total point plus equal to the score point. Did I say score a point? Oh shit. Score point is what I wanted to write. Hey, score point now. Where's score point coming from? Okay, this. Sorry. Score point. Then that's going to be point display dot text content is equal to total points. So this is going to be here. So let's see how that works. So we will say CAT, correct, 50 points. 50 points at Gryffindor. Yay. So after getting a correct answer, we need to move to the next place. We need to move to the next answer or next question, supposedly. Okay, so to do that, we are going to go back to our index.html, and we are going to put a button. So we're going to create a button, and this button we're going to say continue, and this button is going to have an ID of continue button. All right. So we need to style it. So okay, directly here we're just going to say continue btn is going to be display block, say margin 10 pixel auto. Then I'm going to say border is 1 pixel solid black, height is 3 array, the width is 8 array, yes, and then display is none. In the beginning, display is not, we're not going to show it, then cursor is going to be pointer, but for now let me just comment this out so that we can see what we're working with. Okay, that's what it looks like. It's great. So okay, and it's gone. Okay, back in our main.js. Okay, we need to bring in that continue button. So that's continue btn is equal to document dot get element by id. What was that again? Yeah. So now whenever we get a correct answer, whenever it's correct, what we need to do is that we'll say we need to show the continue button. So we'll say continue button dot style dot display equal to block. Then we also need to remove all the random letters. So essentially we're just going to say main letters display area. Okay, main letters display dot style dot display is equal to block. No, is equal to none. Okay, because we don't want it to show. All right, so let's see how that works. Okay, so let's say CAT, correct, good. So that's what we want, works beautifully. So when we press the continue button, we want something to happen, we want an event to take place. So at the top we will just say continue btn dot add event listener dot click. Then the function, we're just going to call it next game. We haven't created it yet, but let's just give it next game. Okay, so what will our next game look like? So it's going to be a function, of course. So I can say next game. Then we're going to create another function. This function is going to check if we are winning or if we have gotten to the end of the game. So for example, if we've reached 100, then it means that we've come to the end of the game and we won. You get that kind of thing. So yeah, so let's just create that function. So we'll just say function check winning. So end game at 100. So if the total score, no, total points is greater than or equal to 100, then it means that we have won, sort of. So we'll just return true. Else we will just return false. It means that there's still another game. Okay, so back here I'm going to say if this check winning returns false, that is, we still have more to play. So we say current data index, we'll just say plus plus, and then we say continue btn.style .display none. Remember, we are showing it up, so we no longer want it to show. Then we'll say the winning display .style .display is equal to none. Okay. So let's see that in action. So CAT, correct, continue. Okay, what's up? Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. This is supposed to be let. Okay, let's try that again. CAT, correct, continue. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that works. The time has come for us to finally add images to what we're working on. Yay, I know some people are like, finally. I know. Finally. So I'm just going to say folder, I'm going to say images. And so I got this image from Unsplash. I'm just going to drag it inside here. Oops, not like that, here. Okay, let me close that. The funny thing was, this was one of the first set of images I saw when I opened Unsplash. So I was just like, could you look at that? Okay, in our index.html, directly above here, so just here. Okay, we're going to create a div, and we're going to say id is equal to images, then area, images area. Then we're going to create another div, and this div is going to be a class, and this class is going to be single image box. So single image box. All right, then now we're going to have the image inside. Okay, so we'll first give it a class. The class is going to be single image, and then the source. Slash images, sorry, slash this. So we close it and we just duplicate it. So 1, 2, no, not like that, sorry. This is what we want to duplicate. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's going to look horrendous. So in our style.css, just here, why do we want to do this? Okay, here we'll just say images area. Hope I got that correct. Yes. So we're going to say the height is 15 rem, the width is 18 rem, then the margin, no, the margin is auto, display flex, and justify content, space between, and flex wrap, flex wrap is going to be wrap. We wanted to move to the next line. Then we're going to say single, let me just copy that. So the single image box is a class. So I'm just going to give it a variable. So the variable I want to use is box size. And then I'm going to say 7 em. Then the height is going to be var box size. Same thing for the width, var box size. Okay, then the background color would be Alice blue. Right. Then we're going to say single image box. The direct child is an image. We're going to say height is 100%. Width is 100%. And then object fit is going to be cover. Okay, let's see. Did I put 5? It's supposed to be 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. Let's remove this last one. Okay. Yeah. Just right. It's just check this. So which brings us to the the JavaScript aspect of all this. So in our main.js file, we have to bring the images area. So we're bringing which is this. We are going to bring this, then we're later going to bring all this. So we're going to say const images area is equal to document dot get element by id, and that's going to be images area. Okay, now say const single images is equal to document dot query selector all, and that's going to be single image. So what we want to do is we are going to create a function, and this function is going to load all the images that we are working with. That's what we want to to do. That's what we're going to do right now. So we're just going to create a function. We're going to we'll call this function load images, and then it would help us to put all the images for us. But before we do that, in the data, we're going to have images. So here, so we'll call this images, and then we're going to put in the image that we want to use. So I'm just going to say import only image. That's what I'm only going to use one image for this tutorial. So from images slash what so I'm just going to copy all, copy, yeah. So this is going to be only image, only image, only image, comma. So I'm just going to do that. Although to be nice, okay, let's see, maybe I bring in another image, but for now this is what we're working with. Okay, so loading the images, right? Okay, so I'm just going to say function load images I'm going to say single images dot for each. So this is going to have element and index. Now we're going to say lm dot source is equal to data, then the current data index dot images, then the index. So I'm going to call this, and I don't expect anything to have changed. It should still look the same. Okay, that's broken. Okay, this should be or did I put 3 instead of 4? Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. So okay, yeah, so yes, it just looks the same. I like the gray, it's really nice. So with that, whenever we have like what's it called, whenever we, like, you know, we have to move to the next page, we need to create like a function that would take us to that next excuse me, we need to create a function that will take us to that new game. So we have to create a function now, and the name of the function is going to be called new game. So essentially this new game is also going to be what will start the game in the beginning. Yeah, if you get what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm going to say function new game, and in this new game what we're going to do is we're going to draw the answer boxes, we're going to fill the random letters, and then we'll just load in new images. Yeah, so we're going to call this here. Okay, let's see that work. So C correct. Move to the next one. Yeah, it works. It works. Although I know the picture didn't change because we're using the same picture, but try it out. With the new game in place, with us having a function called new game, what we could do is we will just remove all this. Yeah, I know we did a couple. So this, we remove this and this, and we will just simply call new game because it will do the three of them. So yeah, okay. So yeah, so everything's still working the same. So with new game, now let's create end game, because I mean, if we have achieved 100, then we need to go to, we need to say yay, you have ended, that kind of thing. Okay, to do that, we'll just create a function, and the function, of course, like you can hear from the name, end game. So let's just end the game. Okay, so we're gonna say function end game. So that's going to be pick letters display dot style dot display is equal to none. Then we're going to say main letters display dot style dot display. We want it to be none too. Then the continue button dot style dot display equal to none. And then the winning display dot text content, I want it to say congratulations. You won. Then the images area dot style dot display equal to none. Okay. So we'll just copy this, and here we'll just say else endgame. Let's see if that works. So I'll say CAT correct. Let's fumble the back first. Wrong. So I would return, so LOVE, love, correct, continue, congratulations, you won, yippee. Okay, so we would also need like a reset button, like if we want to reset the game, for example. So we'll just have a reset button. So that means that we would need to go to our index.html, and then when that is continue, we're just going to have a div, and then we're going to say id is equal to finished game btn area. So then we'll just say restart. Restart game. Okay, then in our style.css we need to style that. So directly below everything, or yeah, so just say, let me just copy this. And then say display flex. The width is 20 rem. And then we say margin is 10 rem. Auto 0 pixel to the top right, 0 pixel to the bottom, and then auto again. Then we say justify content, space between, and then display none. Of course, in the beginning it wouldn't be there. Then we need to style the button. So let's say display block, then border will be 1 pixel solid black. Instead of space between, let's make it center black, and then we'll say height 3 rem, then width is 8 rem, then background color white, so FFF, and then we'll just say cursor should be pointer. Okay, it wouldn't show, of course, because this is none, but let me comment that out. So it's down here, it doesn't make sense, but that's what we have. Okay, so now it's no longer showing. So back in our our main.js, we need to bring in this restart button, but first let's give it an ID. I'll just say reset btn. So save, come back here, go to the top, say const reset btn, go to document, document dot get element by id, and we say reset button. So at the base of our code, I know our code is getting really long. We are going to now bring in the function, but before we do that, let's just add an event listener to it. So I'm just going to say reset button dot add event listener. So click, and the name of our function is reset game. Okay, sounds explanatory enough. So function reset game. So I'm just going to bring in some, sorry, what did I just do? Okay, so now I'm just going to say total points is equal to 0. Then current, we're basically just resetting everything. You know, normally to make this much more effective, all this should be inside an object, then you just reset the object, but oh well, we'll just put it to initial. But maybe as time when we work with much more difficult concepts, then I'll start bringing in this better way of doing this. So point display dot text content is equal to the total points, then we'll say picked letter display dot style dot display is equal to flex, Then main letters display dot style dot display equal to greet. So I think we also need to bring this in at the top. So I'll just say const finished game area is equal to document dot get element by ID. Yeah. Below, we're just going to say finished game area dot style dot display equal to none. And then our images area dot style dot display flex, because we made it was not showing before, so now we want it to show. Then we need dot style dot display. We don't want this to show any longer. And then we want a new game. Okay, that should work. Let's see how it goes. CAT, continue. LOVE, continue. Or didn't I call end game? Yeah, I did. Okay, let's see if there's an error first. Okay, there's no error. Let me quickly see. Oh, okay. I know what happened. So it's going to be, we need to show the finished game area. So this is going to be dot style dot display equal to flex. Okay. It's going to be CAT, continue. LOVE, continue. Yay, fantastic. So we're gonna see start game, and it starts from the beginning with our points reset. Yeah. I think that covers all that 4 pictures 1 word is all about. Yay, this was pretty fun. So if you've reached the end, thank you so much. If you learned 1 or 2 things, if you enjoyed this, please give this channel a like, please subscribe, and hope to see you in the next one. Toodaloos.